Well, the
We're
countdown went, so we're recording
recording?
now.
Think so.
I'm looking at you with that mustache, and you look like a cartoon character. If it was dark, if it was black, you definitely pass for like a Mario or a Luigi with that hat.
Yeah, yeah. I should dye it for Halloween and do a.
No, don't, don't do it. Don't do it. So this is your show, Kirk. So I
Is it?
get to
Yeah,
sit and
yeah.
Kirk.
You
This is your show. I get to you play, or as Smoking Pipes would say, you get to play the Inquisitor while I answer.
well, you've been on before because we did the IG podcast, Pipe Makers podcast, which hopefully that comes back soon.
It will. So much going on in life the last 2 3 months, just ridiculous stuff. So yeah, I have it all lined up and arranged, and we'll get that started again. But there was no point in doing anything before Chicago when it got too late. So after Chicago is when we'll start that again.
Okay.
So Kirk, tell me, what are you smoking?
Yeah, I was gonna say from everyone who doesn't know you, you're on Pipes, Boards and Pals. Is that your?
No, no, no. That's the other two less good-looking people
You're on yeah, Pipe and Tamper 3.0. Have you had a? When's
with
the next
with Jay and Bo.
Jambo?
And since Bo's not here, I'm having my methodical coffee.
And then you do a lot of stuff on Instagram too, like your coffee talk, which you didn't have one today.
No, I didn't have one. I started doing that, and I wanted to do it every other week, and
Hmm.
then it got to people wanted to come on, and then it became every week. So it got to be a bit much, and it gets in the way of going to Pennsylvania sometimes, and what time I can leave if I have to record there, and I have a lot of hands in the fire when it comes to all of this, between the Chicago Pipe Club, posting on their Instagram, in touch with pipe makers all the time, new ones and veteran pipe makers, my own Instagram posts, and then writings that I do, and then the cigar stuff. So it got to the point where I don't want to say I was getting burnt out. I just needed a couple of weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Break. I started that monochrome pipe Monday, which is the black and white pictures of
Hmm.
pipes and stuff for Monday. And even last Monday, I was like, I don't want to do it. I said, but how could I not if I started it? And it's already for like 11 weeks in now. It goes fast.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a couple weeks until Chicago,
A
right?
couple of weeks. We have a week, 2 weeks, a week and a half. Not this week coming. Not this Thursday, but the following Thursday we fly out. So it's a week and a half.
Yeah. What are you smoking?
I am smoking a Caldwell cigar. The King is Dead, the Escape Plan, which is a 6x52 box pressed cigar, which is, if you've never had it, it's an absolutely tremendous cigar. I mean, when I talk, I'm not really a fan of box press cigars, or at least I wasn't. Uh, More makers are doing box press cigars, but they're doing them very well. And there's a
Hmm.
difference. Uh, the Caratoba from Oz Cigars is a tremendous soft box press. This is a really nice box press cigar. Uh, Not so firm. It's just soft enough on the sides. You know, it's just a wonderful smoke. Pigtail. I love a pigtail on a cigar, and I love a closed foot. This didn't have a closed foot, like the warped La Comenas #44 or
Hmm.
the Black Honeys. They all have a closed foot and a pigtail, which is just great cigars. You smoke a lot of cigars?
And this, I'm starting to now, just with summertime. I only smoked maybe one a month throughout the winter because I do a blind tasting club where we do a Zoom call and smoke a blind cigar and have a usually have a guest on that's somebody in the industry or something like that.
Really?
And
Where's this?
so the guys that I contacted with or contact, they're like in Michigan. So there's a
Okay.
couple guys in
What that
Michigan.
does that
I mean,
it doesn't matter.
I'm just saying that
Is there a name to it or anything or?
um, I don't think. Yeah, it's called Leaf and Libations. That's what it is. But it's nothing. They don't have like any kind of like online presence or nothing like that. It's just I don't even know how I got involved with them. I think I saw them posting on like another group and maybe on another social media group or something, and that's kind of how I got involved. But if there's an opening, if you're interested, I could probably. It's
I might be. Why not spread myself a little bit more
yeah,
thin?
it's it's the
I'm good with it.
first Thursday of every month is when we do it. Around like 8 o'clock, I think, or something, and it goes for a couple hours, 8 to 10 or so.
Oh,
So you might be in bed by then.
okay. Yeah, probably not. I always say, but the truth of the matter is I'm usually up to like 10, 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get up at like, 3:30 in the morning for no reason. Saturday, Sunday, doesn't matter. I don't know how to sleep late. I also just don't know how to sleep.
Well, we're here to talk about the.
I'm thankful for Planet Fitness being open 24/7.
Yeah, that is
You
nice.
know, when you get that urge at 1 a.m. to go get a tan, or hop on the treadmill, you can.
Well, we're here to talk about the Chicago Pipe Show a little bit.
I asked you what you were smoking, Kirk.
Oh, right. This is Jason Patrick and smoking some Bayou Morning.
Okay. Now we could talk Chicago if you want.
So how did you kind of get involved with the planning of this year's show? Because did you help plan it last year at all? I can't remember.
Yeah, they asked me last year to help with the social media, so I did, and I wanted to slowly put up the post and put up the post until it got closer and closer, and then really ramped it up. Like once a week, and then twice a week, and then 5 times a day towards the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it really hyped up the show. There were more people that came to last year's show as walk-ins that either never knew there was a show or heard about it from the Instagram that than ever before. I think there were 150 walk-ins
Wow.
alone from the postings. So after the show and after the success, because last year was just a phenomenal show. It was. The shows in the past always had great vendors, but there were more international that came last year, and this year even more. It's just going to be a tremendous show. So after the show, they asked me if I would be uh, on the board. They voted me in on the board, and I handle the social media for the Chicago Pipe Show, not the Pipe Club, the Pipe Show.
And this is this is the 30th anniversary for both the club and the show.
Yeah, which is a really big deal, and it's going to be a big deal at the show. There's you know the show officially, what they say is the Chicago Pipe Show officially begins on Saturday because that's when the doors open for the show floor, Saturday and Sunday. The show itself really begins on Thursday. The tent goes up Wednesday night and everything else, but Thursday morning until Sunday when the tent closes, that's the show. The fact that there are vendors and things to buy and pipes to see and everything else, that's on top of the show. But the show is sitting in that smoking tent with, as of right now's tickets, 892 people, just like yourself.
Wow. And it's probably still. What were the numbers last year? Do you remember?
Last year was, I actually just looked at it. I think it was somewhere just at the 725, 50 mark. But as of the other day, it was 892 tickets sold. show passes. That does not include the walk-ins
Mhm.
that always happen. It does not include the people that come on Sunday only for the one single free day. Uh, there's there's 217 tables, okay, and there's 146 vendors. So like smoking pipes will have like 6 or 8 tables, and
Yeah.
they'll have like 6 or 7 people there. But there's 146 vendors. Of those 176. Out of the 176, there are 53 new vendors that have never had a table at the Chicago show before. That alone is tremendous.
And there's a cutoff for vendors buying tables. If anyone.
There isn't a cutoff for the vendors to buy a table. That can go up until uh, like the week before, maybe a few days before. But there is a cutoff for getting the passes printed,
Oh yeah.
which is yesterday. That's a lot. There's a lot of. I mean, I know you do the Indiana show. Okay,
Hmm.
there's a lot of work that goes into these things.
Yeah.
Between the tent and the food and beverage and the rentals of video and AV equipment, microphones and TV screens and everything. Decoration stuff, drinks. The there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that I don't think anybody realizes. There's about 50 volunteers for the show.
Wow.
That's between in the tent, on the show floor. That's audio, visual, setting things up, taking things down. There's a lot. There's a lot of moving parts.
I don't know if you want to like run down the list of events that's planned. I had it
Well,
pulled.
first you have you know people will get there on Tuesday or Wednesday for the pipe making classes,
Mhm.
101, and now there's also a 102. So there are people that come there to learn to make pipes, and it's hosted and taught by Jeff Graysick. Nate King is there. Kevin Foster is there. I think Jason Patrick shows up. Jared Cole, I think, is there for it. Uh, so you want to learn how to make a pipe, either you have to take 101 in order to do the 201 the following year, but that's the place to get hands on with the equipment, with the briar. Steve Norse, donates, the stuff for it, from Vermont Freehand. Uh, it's 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 really a tremendous thing that happens. But then you have all the seminars Thursday all the way through to Sunday. There's stuff that goes on. There's uh, there's a tea and tobacco pairing, which is done by Alex Florov. Ping Zan is doing it with him from China, and Dirk Heinemann from Germany. So they'll be doing the tea and tobacco pairing, which I'm really looking forward to. That's
Mhm.
going to be. I've never gone, to be honest with you, of all the years I've gone to the Chicago show, I never sat in Battle the Briar. I've always seen it on the video screen, which I think is great.
Yeah.
I've never gone to any of the seminars because there's just no time. You know, I always wanted to spend my time either in the tent with everybody and smoking and talking and all the nonsense and fun and shenanigans that goes on, or on the show floor walking around and seeing and talking to everybody there uh, that I know and that I don't know. But this year there are a few seminars. I'm not interested in the pipe cleaning or pipe maintenance seminar. That one I will not go to. I actually I asked Vera to make sure it wasn't even printed on my card. But the tea and tobacco pairing, I am absolutely going to that.
Yeah.
There's there's that one. There's the pipe cleaning and pipe maintenance. There's one on the Chinese pipe market. I believe there is still. There's quite a few seminars happening.
I know
Did
some of
you
the seminars were in.
did you ever go to the seminars?
I've gone. I went to a couple. Um, I can't remember which ones, but it was like you said. Like I'm. that's one thing I'm kind of excited about this year. They have the special events tent, which I think
Yes.
some of the seminars will be in there, right?
Some of the seminars will be in the special events tent.
And
Exactly.
they're
Which will
smoking.
allow you to smoke
Yeah,
while that's happening.
yeah,
Exactly.
and that's one reason why me and a lot of other people probably don't go to the seminars very much is because we want to hang out and smoke with our buddies.
Right.
So
Right.
having the seminars
Well,
in a special.
one of the events that Smoking Pipes is putting on, or Ladisi is Smoking Pipes is putting on the event. Ladisi is putting on the party. Okay. And I think it's being hosted by Shane. It's the Elixir pairing event. So there'll be 250 tickets. First come, first serve, I think, or Shane and the Smoking Pipes table will be distributing those themselves. Um, where you'll get drinks and tobacco, new tobaccos that are coming out to pair with it, and how that works, which I think is going to be great. And it'll be in the special events tent. I mean, how great is that? And the tea and tobacco pairing in the special events tent. I mean, it's great.
Mhm. And then, of course, we got the fast and slow smokes
You have
happening.
the
Um,
UPCA fast smoke, and slow smoke, right?
I don't know. I can't. I
The
know
smoke,
the slow smoke is at the end of the show on Sunday,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
can't
I'm
remember what the
never
fast.
around for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember when they are this year. I think they were switched around a little bit. I
Mhm.
think the Sunday is going to be the slow smoke, and then one night late is going to be the fast smoke. You should do the fast smoke.
Uh,
I see the way you're smoking that pipe.
yeah. I probably could,
I smoke
but
my cigars like I smoke my pipes very slow. I like to get that nice even char line, you know, like in my pipes, the same way, nice and slow because I prefer not to have a bowl coat, but I also don't like to burn it out.
um, we don't got to mention all the vendors because there's 100 and some of them. But you want to name just some of the bigger names?
They're all big names. That's not a fair thing. They're all big names. Every vendor that comes there pays the same for a table, and every one of them is a big name. Okay, uh, but you will have tables from like Alex Florov, Nana. Uh, you'll have Ping Zan has a table. I don't know if you're familiar with his work.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think Todd Johnson has a table. Um, Jared Cole, you go American, then you go to Europe. Sebastian Heck, I love his work. He's from Germany, and I have actually two pieces from him now, and he's bringing one for me. Sebastian Heck is a great guy. He was on Brian's podcast a little while ago as well, so you can hear about him.
Yeah.
But his work tremendous. There's a lot of new vendors that have never been before that are coming. Like I said, he's one of them. Dirk Heineman will have a table. Bonsai Pipes, Chris Ruitz, of course, Emiliano from Brazil. Unfortunately, Luis Lavos is not going to be there. Uh, he just did the Stuttgart show, but there's just really so many. Another name that hasn't been heard in a while, Wayne Typen. He'll have a table
Mm-hmm.
at the Chicago show. You know,
Yeah.
I think he was at Muletown, I think, last. Um, but then he, was at Chicago for quite a few years. He was actually on one of the Pipes magazine covers when they were in publication. So he'll be back. I'll actually have him on my coffee talk the Sunday before Chicago with some insight on his, let's call it, philosophy of pipe making and pipe sales, which I think few people will find very interesting. I was
Yeah.
actually talking to my buddy in Hong Kong pipe smoker, Olivier, about pipes today, the market, and what's happening price wise between here and China. So I think Wayne will have a very, it'll be a very interesting conversation with Wayne the Sunday before Chicago on Coffee Talk.
Yeah. Yeah, I met Wayne um, last last year, Muletown. He was there just hanging out, and he joined the Indiana club, and he's been to a few meetups that we do.
Right.
But he had said, I didn't know that he was kind of the. I think Nate King trained under him a little bit when Nate first got started.
Yeah.
The
Wayne Typing goes back quite a ways in
yeah,
pipe making.
mm-hmm.
He's not new. I would absolutely call him a veteran pipe maker.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
uh, you know, but coming off and coming back, and nothing wrong with that.
yeah,
Everybody needs a break. You
yeah.
know, but there's a lot of people that I know that I'm excited to see again and hang out. You got Martin Romine coming from the Netherlands. Bruno Nuttons is coming. Chris Harriet's coming. You know, there's people represented from all over the world, literally all over the world coming.
There's one. I guess he's. I think he's been. I know he's on Brian's show. He's in Ohio. I'm trying to think of his name. His Butter something. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Butterbones.
Butterbones. Yeah, yeah. Is
Yeah.
he going to be there this year?
I don't know if he's going to be at the show. I would like him to be at the show. You
Yeah.
know, he's a great kid. He's got a little story behind him. You
Mm-hmm.
know, when I went to Vegas in 23, I was at the airport and I saw some of his work. And I was very interested in his pieces. When I got to the show and I saw him, he was using acrylic stems at the time. I'm not a fan of acrylic stems. I don't mind an acrylic stem on a cob, but when it comes to a briar pipe, especially one that's really nicely shaped, I just personally don't like acrylic stems. I don't like the feel of it on my teeth. Which is really what it is. Um, but then he took a hiatus for a little bit, and like 2 years now, waiting for him to come back. I was talking to Premel about him because Premel brought him in under his wings to teach him a little bit. I actually have one of his pieces after the fact that Premel had sent me, which is a wonderful smoking pipe, and the lines are just gorgeous. Um, so he is going to be making pipes again. I don't know if he started yet that he has pipes for Chicago. I doubt it. But I know he will be. I don't know if he'll be at the show, though. What the hell's his first name? For real. Was it
Yeah, I can't remember his
Tre-
name.
Starts with a T. It's not Trevor. Something. I can't remember.
I
Um,
think I think it might be Trevor. I think that sounds right, but maybe not.
I don't know. But either way, it's Butterbones Briars. Yes.
Yeah.
Great kid, great story. Jamie Marcy. Jamie
Oh
Marcy's
yeah,
going to have a table at Chicago. Let me tell you, finding Jamie Marcy as a pipe maker is extraordinary. Finding him and having him as a friend, all right, I really feel honored by that. All
yeah,
right. His pipes are tremendous. His work is spot on. And this is a kid who learned the right way slowly and tweaked and took criticism and critiques and slowly developed and reimagined and it, you're going to see him for decades to come. I can't wait to talk about him as one of the veteran pipe makers, but he'll
yeah.
have his first table at Chicago this year.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he'll have his first pipe show table this year, and it'll be at Chicago. So that's absolutely a table you want to stop at and see.
I know. So there's a few new things that have been added for this show, um, like the social media area.
Yep, we have a
That's kind
social
of
media table,
yeah.
which look, Brian was very good about having the social media table in Vegas
Mm-hmm.
uh, when I went, and me and Brian recorded there and everything else. And the only other person that did it was Tom Kuhn of Pipes and Whiskey.
Pipes, tobacco, and
Get
whiskey.
re- Top Pipes, Tobacco, and Whiskey. Yes, with him. I think he did it with his son at the time. I don't remember. But in Chicago, he'll usually set up in the morning to interview somebody in the tent. And his son Nathan, recorded it and everything else. I can't remember who, but I recorded with him also, last year in Chicago, in a separate room. But this year I wanted to do something different and have a table provided somewhere for it to happen, so it could be recorded, during the show.
Yeah.
Bring people in.
Yeah.
I don't want to carry all my equipment in. I actually really don't want to carry any equipment in. So Justin and Nate are bringing theirs. So I just have to bring an SD card to swap in and out. And he's also bringing his Zoom portable one that I can take a look at. And maybe I'll go with one of those in the future for something. I want to do more podcasts at places. I want to, when I did the one with Rich for the coffee talk, I thought it was great,
Yeah.
that we were in the shop and doing it. And I have, not so much that it's local, but Alan Kipp is up, 3 hours away. I can do from there, I can record with him in his shop or do a coffee talk with him. Uh, um, JP is just in Pennsylvania. I could do it with him, but also for podcasting, I could do it, you know, at more places with something more portable in a
Yeah.
way, and maybe also something in the cigar lounges, as I visit different cigar lounges.
Yeah. Is there like a sign up list for that, or is it just kind of first come first serve?
No, there won't be. As I was, thinking about doing that and everything else. And I think because there's so few of us, I think we could just do it in simple conversation.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
You're going to set up there and do something, right, for your YouTube?
Yeah, I was gonna probably either I was thought about doing a live on YouTube and just grabbing some people and
I think that's great.
for like even if it's just for like 30 minutes and then maybe later on do something else. I don't know. I was gonna probably just do a couple. I guess we'll see how it goes, but
I think
I
that's
think
great. You know what? That's not a bad idea. Maybe on Sunday, I'll do a coffee talk from the show floor.
there you go. That'd be cool.
I
Yeah,
didn't even think about that until just now. Yeah.
and um, Mike from Timber and Smoke. I kind of want to hit on him a little bit because he's gonna have a special edition of his magazine there for the Chicago.
We have a special Chicago show edition for his Timber and Smoke magazine. Yes.
Yeah,
So he'll have all of his issues out there, and he'll have, I think, the new issue out there. But there'll also be the show edition, Timber and Smoke,
mm-hmm.
which will be a great one. I mean, there are a lot of people that contributed to it. I wrote for it. There's a lot of people that wrote something for it. It's going to be a great issue, and
Yeah,
you will only be able to get it at the show.
yeah,
So that's something, you won't want to miss either. There are a couple of, look, I'm not really big on merch and stuff like that, but there are a couple of things that I think are important to get for nostalgia and history purposes. And,
yeah,
and this Timber and Smoke Chicago show edition will be one of them. The 30/30 is a big event.
mm-hmm.
Ladisi is putting on a big party in the tent on Friday night. So that'll be, uh, I mean, food, drinks, or cake. Rather, it's going to be a big thing. So there'll be that, and they'll be I can't remember who made them for us, but the lighters with the pipe tool built in on the side,
Yeah, yeah,
not the Caribbees, the less expensive ones, but it'll have the 30/30 logo on it as well. Those are little things that I know I'm going to want. You know.
yeah. Mm-hmm. On that topic, is there any other stuff you're looking for? Like anything in your head, like you want to go see this maker's pipes and hoping to get something from them, or
I well, you see, here's the thing with me and pipe shows. When it comes to pipe shows, I get a lot of anxiety of making my way around the floor and seeing something. And do I get, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, at a pipe show, if you pick up a pipe and it speaks to you right then and there, buy it. If you put it down and try and go around, it'll be gone. Unless you have the willpower to say to yourself, I like this pipe a lot. but I'm going to wait to see if there's something else. And if it's still here on Sunday for me to get it, great. If it's not, then it wasn't meant to be. If you have the willpower to say that, then go for it. I don't.
Yeah.
So what I usually do is I usually arrange for pipes to be made or have been made or whatever that are will already be at the pipe show for me. I don't have to run around looking, you know, I have pipes there, that are coming to me. So I don't have to worry about that. I doesn't mean I won't walk around and look around. Absolutely I will. You know. I've also tried to set a theme in some way of something, you know what I mean? Of what I'm looking for to try and negate everything else. You know, look, I don't need more pipes.
Yeah.
I have a few, that I could smoke. Okay. Uh I don't need more cigars. I actually have uh I have probably as many days worth of cigars as I have pipe tobacco. All right. I've been, nobody realizes that I smoke cigars. When I first posted them and started putting them up, people thought I just got into it. But I actually had my first cigar before I had my first pipe. I think my grandfather gave me one of his United cigars while we were in the Bowery. I think I was 14 at the time.
Mhm.
So I was smoking pipe cigars more longer than pipes. So I have quite a few, cellared away.
Yeah.
Um, but that doesn't mean we're not going to get more. We're always going to get and want more. The anxiety I'm having this weekend, the fact that the PCA show is going on and I'm not there, it's killing me. I've been trolling all the pictures and videos to it, talking to the different cigar brands that I know about
Mhm.
what's happening, the other social media people that I know, Big Bear in training. I did a cigar live with him a little while back. He's there working. He's actually there working the booth for Foundation Cigars right next door to Josh at Arango Cigars, Arango
Yeah.
Pipes and Cigars with Josh, which is funny to me.
Speaking of PCA, and I was talking about the Leaf and Libations blind cigar. So for April
Is
we
that
had
Marlon? Is that Wayans? Marlon Wayans?
who?
There's I was you said the name before and it sounded familiar. Marlon Wayans has a cigar line also with a very similar name.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, the two guys that run it, their names Travis and Roman. But Travis, his wife actually works for Drew Estate. Um,
Oh,
she,
okay.
she's a rep for Drew Estate.
J- Jonathan. Jonathan's a great guy. If
Yeah.
he Jonathan is just one of those wacky fun guys.
I got to meet him um, a long time ago, like before I got married or anything like that. I used to work for a shop part time. It was called Tobacco Stop, and it was mostly roll your own cigarettes, and they started getting into premium cigars, and then I started working there and got them into doing more pipes and tobacco and having bulk. And Jonathan Drew was in Fort Wayne for a event at another cigar shop, and then we planned a after party at our shop and we had food come in and drinks and everything else, and it was cool just hanging out with him and him like just telling a story how he like got into how he started Drew Estate cigars and stuff, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But um, but anyways, this month the cigar that we smoked was a unreal or there's a pre-release from Asylum, and it was going to be released at PCA this year, and we got to smoke that, and it was I couldn't tell you anything about it, but I just know it was really good. It was a special edition from I can't think of his name. I don't know. I don't think he's the owner of Asylum Cigars, but he's one of the main guys that runs it. Uh,
Asylum Cigars make some nice stuff.
yeah, they think people when people think of Asylum, they think it's the real big ridiculous 90 ring gauges like the gimmick cigars.
No,
They
no,
have a
no,
lot
no.
of good stuff that's not gimmicky, like
Right.
and so yeah, and the price point is it's not like ridiculous or nothing like that. But
No, but it's yeah, and that's what it is with cigars. There's a price point. You
mm,
know, there's and everybody's price point is different. Cigars and pipes and tobacco are the same thing. Tobacco, you know, everybody tries to compare, or everybody does compare, price point of cigars to pipes. You can't. It'll never equal in balance. Okay.
mm,
But you can put a correlation to the price point of cigars, daily cigars, to your pipes. All right. If you're a cob smoker, those are your budget cigars. Okay.
mm,
If you like, if all you're going to smoke are Opus X or Marifels, okay, then you're also smoking the higher end pipes. That mid range is the happy area where you could enjoy a cigar, and know that you burned, 15, $20, you know,
mm,
and the handmade pipes or factory pipes that are in that 150 to, let's say 225 range. There's a lot of them.
yeah. Um, while we're on the topic of cigars, like I know last year, or not last year, 2 years ago. I didn't go last year. 2 years ago, there
Yeah, you
was a
flaked out last year.
yeah. They
Yeah,
had,
T-ball. Yeah,
but
T-ball.
they have they had a cigar. They had a few cigar manufacturers
There are
there
a lot of cigar brands last year,
last.
and one of the things I really enjoy about cigars is, for me, cigars is a lot like the pipe community. You have your legacy brand cigars, okay? Arturo Fuente, Joya de Nicaragua, all right? And those are your factory pipes, okay? Then you have the boutique cigars. I love the boutique cigars. The boutique cigars, to me, are the handmade pipes.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
HTA, Haze Gray. Yeah, I mean, look, Warped. There's 100 of them. The name just Foundation, uh, Founding Fathers. It just goes on. You know what I mean? There's so many. Even Roma Craft, and all those. And I would even consider Drew Estate to be somewhat boutique like.
Yeah.
Dunbarton. I mean, look, the list goes on. There are more boutique branded cigars than there are legacies. 100%. Okay. Illusion cigars. I mean, Lost and Found cigars, Coldwell cigars. It goes on and on and on.
So there will be some cigar vendors
There will
there.
be, yes, I believe there are about 10 cigar vendors.
Mm.
The mobile cigar lounge will be there again.
Oh, okay.
Um, now, this year, different from last year. Last year, the cigar brands were in one room, which was terrible because nobody went in. We then moved them out to the hallway, okay, where then you had to pass them in order to go from the tent to the show or the show to the tent. All right. The other issue was the reason it was like that last year is because last year we had the smaller venue room rather than the large one from 2 years before. So this year we have the large ballroom again, like 2 years ago, and all the cigar vendors are going to be in that room with us as well. However, not setting them up all against the wall or in one line like they were 2 years ago. This time they'll be scattered throughout the show, which I think will be much better. It'll work out much more dynamically for them and for the people walking around the show floor.
Yeah. Really, I think I hit all the talking points that I wanted to hit. Um, is there anything that we didn't talk about that you wanted to hit on with the show or anything?
Listen, if you were late to the game and getting a room, then you're obviously having to stay someplace else for the first night. There are still rooms available for Friday and Saturday night. Uh, there were 100 and something rooms being renovated, which cut back on the number of rooms. There are two other events going on at the hotel, uh, so that cut back on the rooms. So Thursday night was gone immediately. Friday night and Saturday night still have rooms available. So if anybody chooses to go and spend the night, I would absolutely book you. I don't know when you're putting this up there on YouTube, but I would do it soon so people know to go get a room
Yeah,
if they plan on staying. And you could walk in and buy your show pass there. You don't have to do it online.
yeah,
Uh, I look, if you've never been to a pipe show, you have to go to a pipe show. It's just a tremendous. It's I can't describe the feeling. Everybody tells you what it's like, and everybody tells you what it is. I cannot describe the feeling of what it is to walk in for the first time to your first show to a Chicago show. It's overwhelming. It's just an incredible sight.
yeah,
So if you've never been, you have to go. Like Nate would say, it'll change your life.
yeah. My my first pipe show was the Chicago show in 2000. I think it was 2011 when it was still at Pheasant Run, and I was only smoking pipe for a couple years, and you know, I've never seen that many pipe smokers in one room or that many pipes in one room, and I was overwhelmed just by all the different pipes, and then I met Nate King I think for the first time. It might have been my second year that I went, but found out that he was in Indiana. I think he was in Indianapolis at that time, but said he was a pipe maker and he showed me some of his pipes and stuff. And that was when he first did like the steampunk kind of stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Back then, he was still on the racing circuit.
Yeah, but it was I met Nate for the first time there, and it was weird. Like I always knew like we didn't there wasn't a whole bunch of social media stuff. We didn't have like the Discord servers and stuff like that back then, or even really Instagram.
No, look,
And
it's changed so much in the last. It's changed so much in the last, let's say, 5, 6 years.
yeah,
From 15 years ago, it's just a whole new world. You know, they always say that if you have your own plane, the world is a small place. Okay,
yeah,
but today you don't even need a plane because between Discord, social media, YouTube, Instagram Live, and everything else, I mean, the world is small. You could just hop on a Zoom with 15 people around the world and have a pipe together.
yeah,
So, how do you now you're putting this on YouTube, right?
yeah.
Have you gotten any lashback from YouTube about smoking on the channel?
I haven't no because I do I put like the tags and stuff like I'll put
Must
tobacco
be
smoke
18. Yeah.
or I know I
Yeah,
don't even
but
put that, but
I don't think
I
that matters
do
anymore.
no I put like there's a selection where it's like if it asks you if it's made for kids and I always put no, and maybe that's why my channel hasn't gotten any flack yet because I you have to have an account to watch my videos, which maybe if I got rid of that maybe more people would watch my videos, but I don't know, I haven't had any. I think maybe that's why I haven't had any pushback because I
Yeah,
do
the
that.
new thing is Rumble now, right?
Yeah, which I haven't checked out Rumble yet. I know there's people that will post to Rumble and YouTube, but it's just a whole other thing I got to do. So if it,
I think I'm going to look into Rumble.
yeah,
I mean, if it's wide open for the fact that political issues and no lashback of smoking on there, I think I'm going to look into Rumble. I
yeah,
think we maybe we'll push the pipe and tamper to Rumble. I think maybe I'll push the coffee talks to Rumble as well. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out how to get the coffee talks to load up onto the podcast feed. But either way, I think I may look into that.
Yeah, yeah. They might even open up a whole new community. You know what I mean? Like there might be only guys on there that are only on Rumble, but nothing else. And
Yeah.
I tried doing TikTok, just posting.
What are you, 12? What are you, a 12-year-old girl?
But my TikTok actually,
TikTok? What are you doing? Your little dances on there too?
yeah, I do pipe dances with my pipes. But
No,
mine got shut down.
no. Don't ever put that together that you do your pipe smoking, you're dancing with pipes. Okay? That's a whole other channel. You could put that on your only feet.
My only feet. Yeah, no feet, no free feet here though.
I wouldn't pay for them, so it doesn't matter. I've seen those hairy fucking toe knuckles.
Oh shit.
So what else you got? You want to ask me anything, or are you good?
I think I'm good.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to start working on your interview skills a little bit.
Yeah, I'm no Brian Levine.
No,
No
you're not
Mike.
even a Brian Cohen. No, Mike was always very good at
Yeah.
the questions, just not always letting people answer. But I still love him.
I saw is he starting a new podcast? Is that what I saw?
Yeah, he's retiring from his regular job, and
Oh,
now he's bored.
yeah,
Well, he's not retiring yet, but he will be. So he's going to start doing it again. But he's going to be doing it. He's going to be doing some stuff like he's been podcasting for like 15 years.
yeah,
With like his B movie stuff and everything else. He's had a few different podcasts come and go.
yeah,
So he's going to be doing like almost like a podcast variety show of different things,
yeah,
which I think is great.
yeah. That's fun.
Because I mean, let's face it, he doesn't smoke a pipe, and the
Yeah,
only tobacco he smokes is Sunset Harbor Flake. You know, so it's he smokes more cigars, but he smokes just like Sunset Harbor Flake. He has his rotation of cigars, and then he'll venture out a little bit when it comes to the holidays, like the Filthy Hooligans and stuff on the with all that.
yeah.
But no, I'm only kidding. But yeah, he'll put whatever he puts together will always be gold.
All right. Well, thanks for doing this with me. It was cool to kind of or get some more info on the Chicago show, and hopefully, get people who are on the fence of coming. They'll want to come now. But
Yes, absolutely. Go. Make sure you give Kirk a big greasy hug.
yeah,
You
you
know what
mean
he really likes? Kirk really likes when you tug his mustache from behind.
yeah.
I know you're looking forward to that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks
Matter of
for.
fact, I will give anybody, who records tugging his mustache from behind some escudo, my personal escudo.
Well, I'll do that myself.
It doesn't work that way. I'm sure you tug yourself quite often.
Man, I gotta put PG-13 on here now.
Okay, do it.
All right. Well, thanks, Jay.
You got it. I'll talk to you later.